Leonardo da Vinci once said, "Once you have tasted flight, you will walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward, for there you have been and there you will always be." Welcome to part 1 of this series about the heritage flight my dad and I took in our 1946 Piper J-3 Cub. We took this flight as a way to document and honor our family's almost 74-year history with our Cub. I'm Emily, by the way. I grew up around aviation. I'm a private pilot, currently working on my instrument rating, and I'm also an airport manager at a general aviation airport in Western Kentucky. It's kind of a long story of how I got from here to here, and I'll talk more about that in subsequent videos. This video, however, really isn't about me. My dad and I have been talking for years about the best way to honor our Cub and talk about how she's been a main character in our family's history for the last 3 generations. Eventually, we decided in 2021 to take an epic cross-country flight, 1,600 nautical miles, 110 gallons of avgas, 18 hours of flight time, 5 states, 5 days, 2 pilots, and 1 very special Piper Cub. The goal was to visit every airport Fort Cub Hotel has called home since 1949, when my grandfather bought her from Southern Airways in Valdosta, Georgia. Our journey would take us from Kentucky, where we currently live, down to Valdosta, Georgia, to northeastern Florida, all the way across the Panhandle to northwest Florida, up through Montgomery, Alabama, and back to Kentucky again. We chose to fly this route in October, when the weather is typically nice in the southeast and not too hot or rainy. The weather was beautiful during our whole trip, and we were able to meet up with new friends, reminisce with old friends, and the nostalgia of it all was the perfect setting for my dad and me to share some of our favorite memories with the airplane that we've both known our entire lives. We honestly got a ton of things packed into the first day, more than I really thought we would, considering we weren't actually making any stops at any of the airports that Fort Cub Hotel has been based at. But because of some opportunities that we had through some friends, through social media, we were able to have some pretty cool experiences. Now, for any of you who have ever flown in a J-3 Cub before, you know that this is not exactly the cross-country machine most people would choose for comfort or amount of baggage you can carry. However, we made the most of it and pretty much stuffed 5 days worth of clothing and toiletries into our backpacks, and off we went. Our first fuel stop of the day was at Crossville Memorial Airport in Crossville, Tennessee. We stopped here because one of our old friends, Greg, runs the FBO here at Crossville. It was a bustling airport and had lots of activity going on, while still being small and welcoming. Just my kind of airport. Our second fuel stop of the day was in Polk County, Georgia, where we met up with our friend Chad Cole, who had just finished restoring his grandfather's 1946 J-3 Cub. It was so cool to see both of our Cubs next to each other on the ramp and to get to talk to Chad about how much that Cub means to him and his family history. One of my favorite parts of the day was eating at the infamous Barnstormers Grill at Peach State Aerodrome in Williamson, Georgia, just south of Atlanta. I feel like I've heard about this airport a ton. Everybody goes to Barnstormers for breakfast or lunch or brunch. I had heard rave reviews of the chicken and waffles, so of course I had to try the chicken and waffles, and they were very delicious. We joined up with our friends Lee and Kayla, who are both based down in Georgia. Kayla interviewed us for an article she was writing for AOPA, and that was such an incredible experience to kind of get to sit down and chat with her about the different memories that we've had with our airplane and what a special trip this was. One of my favorite parts of the day was the air-to-air shoot that we did with Lee and Kayla. Kayla was flying BBR, her favorite Carbon Cub to fly. And of course, we were in 4-5 Hotel and the sun was setting. It was the perfect time of day to get some incredible shots. And of course, Lee is just such a professional. We're just so thankful we had this opportunity. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Day 2 will be coming soon. This day is really where we kind of started getting some emotions. We landed at Valdosta, Georgia, which is where my grandfather purchased our Cub in 1949. That is the last time that 4-5 Hotel has been to Valdosta Regional Airport, was in June of 1949. That's where she lived for 3 whole years before my grandfather purchased her. So it was just a really, really cool day to kind of come back to that place. They still have the old terminal. We got tons of pictures. This is kind of a rendition of a picture that I took there in front of the terminal there in Valdosta. But such a cool day. Got to see more old friends at our last stop of the day. So please stay tuned for that video. It will be coming out soon. If you guys enjoyed this, please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this kind of content and want to see more. I intend on doing lots of videos that will, of course, feature my beautiful Cub, but I'm also going to do a lot of other videos just surrounding different things that go on at the airport. And I'm really excited to kind of get to dive into some of this content. So again, like this video if you did, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one.